Hello my friends, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome to part 10 of the handmade electric guitar build project. Okay, so in the previous episode I was talking about how I was going to be finishing the guitar body. Like I said, I wanted to do the shusugi-ban, Japanese method of basically scorching the wood and then removing all the soot and soaking with oil. After having done it on a test piece of the same wood, I realised it was not going to happen because you can still see all the joins and the lines in the wood, and it warps. So that wasn't going to happen. So I said I was going to paint it white. And I was also talking a little bit about the electrics, whatever. So the body is now painted. I didn't record any of it because how exciting is it to watch someone painting something? Okay, so it's all finished, all the way around. So it had, I think, three coats of primer, and then about a dozen coats of the white paint, and 7 or 8 coats of lacquer. Now it might sound a lot, but one thing I've learned from previous mistakes is that, and I kind of knew this anyway, you need to put on very thin layers and build it up gradually. In the past I've always been impatient and I've just layered it on, and I had all sorts of problems. So I took my time on this, and I did lots and lots of thin coats and built it up gradually. I mean, it's difficult to appreciate on camera just how good it looks, to be honest, and it's as smooth as glass. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm really pleased with it. However, and I'm not sure how well you will see it, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but during the process of painting this, the grain of the wood kind of opened up, and you can still see the grain of the wood. As I said, I don't really think it might pick up a bit on camera. So the grain of the wood opened up a bit during the painting, and there are a few blemishes here and there. There's one on the back somewhere. Yeah, I mean it's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's more than good enough for me. I'm really happy with it. I mean, if this was for a customer or for sale, it wouldn't be good enough. But I am really pleased with it. It's come out how I like it. I like to see the wood grain. I like to see that it's made from a piece of wood rather than plastic or whatever. I think when they're super smooth, for me personally, I don't think they look as good. I actually prefer this. And you probably see as well, I've also painted all the cavities with the carbon paint. That's all done. So what I will do when I come to do the base, because of this this open grain, I'm going to try and do it a little bit differently on the base. I'm going to, before painting it, so between the sanding and the painting, I'm going to cover the whole body with acrylic filler, sorry. Because I'm using acrylic primer, paint and lacquer, I'm thinking that the acrylic filler will be compatible with it. And I have checked, I've got some in my room at the back, and I have checked it is suitable for wood, so I'm going to give that a try. It will definitely be better. It's gonna fill in some of the grain, perhaps not all of it, I don't know yet, but that's what I'm going to try with the base. Gonna go over the whole body with filler first and sand it flat and smooth, and then paint it and see if it's any different. And again, if it doesn't really make a lot of difference, I'm not bothered. I quite like this finish. So I am now onto the stage of wiring it up. So I've got, my bench is a mess at the moment, but I've got everything around me that I need, all of the hardware and the electronics and the tools I need. So let me just put the camera down a bit, and is that enough? Let's get a bit more. So first thing I want to do is attach the pickguard. This will offer some protection, you know, for when I'm doing all the rest of it. Because I did say in the previous video that I was going to leave this about a week after painting to start to put it together. Well, it's not been a week, it's been about 3 days, but, oh, excuse me, I think it's going to be fine. I mean, I've been handling it quite a lot and I can't see any, you know, finger marks, so I know that the lacquer is no longer soft, so I think we'll be good. So, first thing I'm going to do is put the pickguard on, and as I said, I had previously pre-drilled all of the holes for all of the hardware and everything that's going on it. Oh, the other thing I did as well is I've already put the aluminium foil on the back of the pickguard for insulation. So that's all done. So, pickguard's going on first. So this is quite an exciting stage for me. It's, you know, it's the beginning of putting the thing together. So let's get the pickguard on. Just get it lined up with the holes. That's about right. Okay. So I'm going to leave the plastic cover on the pickguard until kind of the very last thing, really. You know, because I'm putting the pickguard on the body to protect the body, but I also want to protect the pickguard, so I'm leaving the plastic cover on it for now until I've, you know, well, basically until just before I put the strings on, which will be one of the last things. So, you know, make sure everything's protected. And with these screws, although I've pre-drilled the holes, you know, there's no tension or pressure on the pickguard, which surprises me that there's 8 screws to hold it on, but they're literally just to hold it onto the body. So I'm not doing these screws up real tight, just until they start to go tight, and that's enough. Because you can easily split the plastic of the pickguard, or worse still, split the wood underneath. So these are not going ultra tight. I'm a bit worried about this screw here. It's really close to where the humbucker will go. I think it, yeah, it'll just about miss it. It should be fine. Right, so that's 5, 3 more. So as I said, I think I've figured out the wiring. I've got most of the loom wired up. All I need to do is solder the pickup wires in place, which will be one of the first, well, it'll be the first job I do actually. Right, so last screw. Okay. Right, so I think that looks a little bit like a guitar. Okay, so I'm going to put the pickups in, but not actually screw them in place just yet. Just trying to remember which one's which. Alright, so that one, let's see, try and feed the wire through first. It's a bit hard to see them all now because they're all black. Here's the hole for that. Oh, okay. I remember now. Okay. So first pickup going in, just feed the wires through there. And it's going to go that way. Why is that not sitting down? Okay, it's just very tight in there, which is not that good actually. It should be a bit looser. Right, feed that one through there. hard to see in these cavities with this black paint in there. No? That's that one through. Okay, and the other one. Come on, through you go. With hindsight, I probably should have done these when I routed these channels out. Them a little bit bigger. I will next time, but they will go in. The wires will go in. They're just a little bit fiddly. They will go in. Right, come on, there we go. Okay. That one's a bit stuck. There we go. That's got it. Okay. Right, so just make sure they seat down properly, and they do. Right, so now the control unit, which has got the pots in it and the switch. I haven't put the switch in the body yet because these pickup wires, the hot wire has to go to, or each hot wire has to go to each side of the switch, and then the earth wire of each one goes onto the back of the volume control pot. So, switch my soldering iron on, and I'm going to just put this this mat over the body there to try and protect that a bit. Let me just turn this around a bit, you can see what I'm doing. Is that light washing out? I think it probably was. Right, okay. So, let me just think. So that switch will normally go that way. So when you put the switch up, hold on. Yep. So when you put the switch up for the upper humbucker, it's actually this side that I need to put the wire to, because this is just obviously the lever of the switch, but the switch inside goes that way, so I've got to wire it to that one. So let me just double check I've got that the right way round. So that will go that way. Hold on. I've got to make sure I get this right. Because if I don't, well, it won't really matter too much. I mean, worst case scenario, I could just turn the switch around. So the red wire, in this case, is the bridge humbucker. I've got to make sure I get this the right way around. So that will be like that. So that is that one. Yes. Okay. So I've already pre-tinned all of the wires and the connections. So I should just be able to wire them up quite easily, he says. Right, let me triple check that again just before I start that. So that's going that way, so that's down. So it's that one, okay. Right, okay. And, you know, wiring, as I said, is not my strong point, and that obviously includes soldering. I am going to need that light on to see what I'm doing. Just that round there a bit. Hopefully that's not washing you out too much. Right, so first wire going on, hopefully. Okay. So I'm going to put the two hot wires on the switch first and then do the earths afterwards. So that's one. This one's a bit awkward because there's a wire right above it. I'll just turn that around a bit. Can I do that? Right, okay. Yeah, you're not really going to see what I'm doing too well here. It's awkward to get in there, and as you can see, I've got very shaky hands. I think that's gone on. No, it hasn't. I've got to do that again. Should be good this time. Okay, that's good, that's good. Right, so now the two earths onto, or grounds if you prefer, onto the back of the volume pot. Again, I've already put some solder on the back of there. It should just go straight on, no problem. That's one. Two. Right. Okay, all those wires are on there. Let me just switch that soldering iron off. Actually, I'll unplug it, take it right out of the way before that sets fire to everything. Just put that down on the floor, that'll be fine. Okay, so I've got the jack there. How are we doing for time? Okay, so I need to feed the earth wire back through here and then out of here, which is going to go under the bridge. So let me just get that earth wire. I'm going to put that back on there. So I feed that earth wire through, back through this hole where the humbucker wires come through. It's a much thinner wire, so it should go through quite easily. So I need that humbucker out of the way so I can feed that wire through. That's a bit awkward. Right, so let's put that one through there. Okay. Pull that through. It's not giving me a lot of wire there actually. That should be enough. Right, so before, actually no. The way I'm going to just first of all see if I can feed that wire through there, but I know it is quite fiddly. And if I can't, I'll feed a bit of wire through that way first, then attach it to this one and bring it back through. Let's see if it will go. Nope, we missed. Has that got it? Nope, missed again. That's got to be it now. Come on, through you go. Yes, there it is. Right, so I just want to strip a little bit of the casing off of that wire. Because that's, as I say, going to be the ground, or the earth as we say. Need to feed a bit more of that through. Okay, so just strip a bit of the wire casing off. Not that much. Fiddly. Okay. Right. Just take that casing off the end there. I hope you can still see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to twist it round a bit, and then I'm going to bend it backwards and then pull the cable back through, and that will hook it onto just there. And I'm just going to ball the end up a little bit. Okay, so now when I pull that back through there, probably can't see that. When I pull that back through there, that will hook onto the body just there. Okay, good. So, need a little bit of cloth, just making a bit of a mess on that. So I need to actually do all the wiring so that I can test this to make sure it works. So, I mean, if I haven't got all the wires on, it's not going to work properly. So next part is the bridge. Goes that way. I haven't got all of the drills, all the holes drilled for this bridge yet, so I need to do that. But I'll put these 3 screws in first. I've got 3 of them, and I need to do the other 2 once it's in place. Let me just put that light out the way now. Right. I'm not going to do them up real tight just yet until I know it's on there and properly aligned. Yeah, these screw holes are not lining up. I don't know why. Let's take that one out. Put that one in. There we go. Right, now I can get that middle one in. Okay, so I now need to drill those 2 front holes. Right, so I'm going to end this video here, but I will continue with the next episode, basically where I'm leaving off here. It's just that, you know, I've got to go and get my drill and drill these holes and then get the bridge secured on. Then I will literally start the next video from there, so we're not going to miss anything, but I'm starting to run out of time here. So the episode 11 will be continuing with the wiring and starting to build the instrument up. Well, obviously I'll have to, once I put the wiring in, I want to test it, make sure it's all working properly, and if it is, then I start to build it. And as I said before, I may need to put a shim under the end of the neck in the pocket to just to tilt it back a fraction. I don't know yet until I've got this all set up. It may not need it because I've actually since doing that test with the bridge before, I've put a lower nut on there, which may be too low, I don't know yet. So I've got to set all that up. So that will be in part 11. And if you're enjoying these videos, please give a like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all the rest of it, and we will see you in the next episode. In the meantime, look after yourselves, look after each other. We will see you soon. Peace out.